In today's news, Vernon Bernard charged in PIER Park robbery. Royal Virgin Islands Police Force makes breakthrough in YONNAS murder, with the absence of government officials at Governor's farewell explained. Expanded powers for Integrity Commission approved, and the BVIPA Ports Authority celebrates 3 local female captains. Viewers, these and more stories, and 284 News return.
Start the year off with more speed, more downloading, more savings, and more fire. CCT Fire Fiber Internet gives you the speed you need to keep the whole family connected. Packages starting at $119 with speeds from 300 megabytes per second, super fast, unlimited downloads, even more reliable connectivity, plus free live streaming TV for the family to enjoy. Sign up for the absolute best fiber internet service in the BVI CCT Fire and pay no installation fee. Plus, get CCT Live TV for free. You deserve more. Get more with CCT. Life Unlimited.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Bye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, I can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you, know?
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What's your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome viewers to the Monday, January 22nd edition of 284 News. I am Kamal Haynes, bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. Well, leading today's news, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force has charged an additional male in relation to the armed robbery that took place at the House of Luxury Jewelry Store at the Tortola PIER Park in July 2023, where our Jacka Wedding has the story.
The suspect, identified as 32-year-old Vernon Bernard of Manuel Reef, has been charged with robbery, handling stolen goods, and possession of the proceeds of criminal conduct. Bernard is expected to appear before a magistrate's court at the next available sitting. He joins 35-year-old Shamul Mitchell and 27-year-old Jelani Marquis, who have also been charged in relation to this incident. This is not Bernard's first run-in with the law. Back in 2018, he was arrested and charged with unlawful possession of a firearm and taken conveyance related to the murder of Trumaine Passion Dawe. Ultimately, however, he was found not guilty when a judge returned with a ruling in favor of the defense, stating that he upheld a no-case submission after considering the evidence presented by the prosecution. He stated that the evidence simply was not strong enough to proceed with a case against Bernard and his co-defendants. The robbery currently in question occurred in July 2023 when the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force responded to reports of an armed robbery at Tortola PIER Park. 2 masked men were dressed in white and entered a prominent business and made off with jewelry from the showcase. The masked bandits fired shots into the air while making their escape. However, no injuries were reported. The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force continues to appeal to anyone who may have witnessed the robbery or can provide any information, no matter how insignificant it may seem, to contact the RVIPF Intelligence Unit at 368-9339. Alternatively, persons can give this information anonymously to Crime Stoppers at 800-8477. That's 800-8477. For 284 News, I am Jacka Wooding.
Well, in more crime news, the major incident team of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force has made a significant breakthrough in a murder case involving then 26-year-old Azim YONNAS, who lost his life on September 3rd, 2023 in the Longbush area. The police said after an exhaustive investigation spanning just over 3 months, one person has been arrested for questioning, when neither the individual's identity nor gender was revealed in the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force's media release. What the release did say, however, and I quote, While the investigation remains ongoing, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force assures the public that exhaustive efforts are being made to collect all necessary evidence and ensure a comprehensive and fair legal process. Recognizing the importance of transparency, updates will be provided as they become available while upholding the integrity of the investigation. End quote. YONNAS was fatally shot after being pursued by two armed masked individuals. The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force is encouraging individuals who may possess information to the case to come forward and assist with the investigation. Confidential tips can be submitted to the Crime Stoppers line at 800-8477 or for overseas callers at 1284-800-8477. Additionally, those with pertinent information can contact the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force Intelligence Unit at 368-9339. Following the notable absence of all of the elected House of Assembly members at a farewell ceremony for former Governor John Rankin on Thursday, questions were raised as to whether it was a unified effort of the officials to boycott the ceremony following Rankin's latest request for the position of governor to have more powers. However, a subsequent statement from the governor's office revealed that the only House of Assembly members to receive invitations to the ceremony, as the customary practice, were Premier Dr. Honorable Natalia Wheatley, Opposition Leader Honorable Ronnie Skelton, and Attorney General Don Smith. While it was revealed that Skelton's absence was communicated to the governor in advance of the ceremony, questions remain as to the absence of Premier Wheatley. But the House of Assembly also issued a statement in response to the revelation, where Speaker Honorable Corinne George Massicot expressed regret over the lack of inclusivity and emphasized the importance of fostering unity and shared participation in such significant occasions. But despite her views on being excluded from the invitation list, the Speaker extended well wishes to the departing governor and conveyed a message of goodwill in his future endeavors. The Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. Honorable Natalia Wheatley, has urgently called for a week of prayer and fasting across the British Virgin Islands from January 19th to 25th. Expressing belief in the power of prayer, Premier Wheatley is encouraging all Christian congregations in the territory to engage in a special focused prayer and fasting this week. But the Premier said, and I quote, "Many persons have been citing the need for prayer for the territory. I too believe in the power of prayer, so I am calling on the churches to lead this charge," end quote. But the week began on Friday, January 19th, with churches praying for specific areas. It will culminate in a service of unity on Thursday, January 25th at 4:30 p.m. at Queen Elizabeth II Park. Premier Wheatley noted the BVI has faced various challenges since the new year began. But during recent remarks at the Rotong Methodist Church, Wheatley emphasized the importance of seeking divine guidance to navigate modern challenges. Where the public is invited to join the BVI government, Christian Council, and churches to collectively pray, fast, praise, and make supplications. Well, up next, viewers, we bring you more news from across the BVI.
One Stop Auto, located in the R&R Malone Complex, Parkwood Pond, is having a huge liquidation sale on all inventory, excluding vehicles and genuine Toyota and Lexus parts. Get no less than 50% off all items on shelves and inventory room. Items such as car covers, steering wheel covers, wipers, sealants, chemicals, emergency cones, adhesives, license plates, frames, air filters, oil filters, front brakes, rear brakes, front rotors, rear rotors, radiators, shocks, and much more. A specific listing of all makes and models for which parts are available at liquidation prices will be posted on our Facebook page. Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but here at 284 Media, we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. 284 Media proudly presents The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman with yours truly, Ron Grant, a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. Don't worry, it's not all about suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. Season 5. a 284 Media production.
Welcome back, viewers. The Cabinet of the Virgin Islands has decided to amend the Integrity in Public Life Act in several ways to strengthen the Integrity Commission. But the amendments will expand the Commission's powers per recommendations from an independent review by Mr. Denniston Fraser. This includes making inquiries and declarations, examining public body practices to uncover corruption, and levying fines for non-compliance. But the full list of powers include 1. To make inquiries and carry out investigations as necessary in order to verify and determine the accuracy of any declaration or statement of registrable interest. 2. To examine the practices and procedures of public bodies in order to facilitate the discovery of corrupt practices, except where there is a statutory duty or any person to perform that function. 3. To allow for the imposition of fines for non-compliance under the Integrity in Public Life Act. 4. To allow the chairperson of the Integrity Commission to be authorized to levy such fines. Additionally, the commissioner or the commission will be authorized to receive reports from the Registrar of Interest on members facing potential suspension or salary withholding. The definition of family will also expand to include parents, siblings, common law spouses as defined in the Criminal Code, and adopted step and other children. Let's expand the meaning of spouse in keeping with Part 4 of the Criminal Code of the Virgin Islands, which will include persons of the opposite sex living together in the circumstances of husband and wife, and allow child to include adopted child, stepchild, and child of the family as outlined under Part 4 of the Criminal Code, the post-meeting statement added. But the Deputy Governor's Office has been instructed to have the Attorney General's Chambers draft the amended bill to enact these measures. Well, in more local news, viewers, the British Virgin Islands Ports Authority proudly celebrated local maritime excellence on Wednesday, January 17th by hosting female captains Johnny Samuels, Deandra Lewis, and Rochelle Lawrence aboard the Celebrity Accent cruise ship. According to the BVI Ports Authority, the initiative was aimed at honoring the achievements of the 3 accomplished female captains while fostering cross-cultural exchanges and promoting equal representation in the maritime industry. With a special luncheon held on board Celebrity Accent at the cruise pier, provided an intimate setting for the BVI captains to share inspirational stories and insights with Staff Captain Maria Gotor and Chief Officer Eva Pavlou. Well, the BVI Ports Authority said the discussions highlighted parallels in their professional journeys and emphasized the need for equal treatment and representation in the traditionally male-dominated maritime sector. But they said, and I quote, "This shared camaraderie not only enriched the luncheon, but also contributed to a collective narrative of female excellence in maritime." But the subsequent tour of the bridge allowed the captains to explore the intricate navigation systems, cutting-edge technology, and operational facets of the bridge, and gain a first-hand understanding of the maritime innovations employed by Celebrity Accent. Well, it's emphasizing the importance of collaborative engagements, the BVI Ports Authority underscored the critical need for such interactions among captains and aspiring leaders in the British Virgin Islands maritime community. While they said, and I quote, "Such exchange serves as invaluable platforms for knowledge sharing, mentorship, and the cultivation of a supportive network." The gathering aboard the Celebrity Accent made possible through the collaborative efforts of ship agent Romasco Group and the Virgin Islands Shipping Registry highlights the commitment to advancing maritime excellence, end quote. Well, the BVI Ports Authority said it looks forward to more collaborative efforts that contribute to the advancement on the recognition of local talent in the maritime sector. A former Speaker of the Legislative Assembly of Montserrat, Ms. Shirley Osborne, in an interview with 284 Media's Ron Grant, spoke adamantly against the treatment of overseas territories across the region from the United Kingdom. She was at the time addressing the ongoing Commission of Inquiry in the Virgin Islands, stating that Britain is trying to reassert itself as a global power.
I think it's bigger than all of that. And I think that's one of the things that I think we in the territories, in the Caribbean in particular, need to be aware of and sort of keep front and center. That these are not just isolated incidents. This is not just a question of there being bad politicians. In every single country, there are bad politicians. The system that was left to us in the Caribbean by the British is a bad system. It breeds what we are seeing now. That's part of the problem. But behind that, there is the British quest to reassert itself in the world. And, you know, people around the Caribbean and in England and across the Commonwealth, actually, because while I was Speaker, I did a lot of traveling and talking in my capacity as an officer with the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. I got the privilege of having some informed and insightful conversations with members of Parliament around the Commonwealth. And one of the things that seems clear to pretty much everyone is that Britain is determined to reassert herself as a global power.
Ms. Osborne also spoke about the importance of the Caribbean countries to the UK in their request to reassert themselves. We have so much been trained to just sort of react to what comes down that we haven't been looking ahead and we haven't been putting the pieces together based on what's been happening in England. The United Kingdom didn't leave the European Union just because they got tired of that. They left because there's a strategy for reasserting UK power and authority around the world. And the Caribbean territories are important now. They were not several decades ago, but they are now. Well, viewers, for that full interview, visit all 284 media platforms. Well, up next, Turks and Caicos Islands shares experience on Commission of Inquiry, and reggae artist PLUTO SHERVINGTON has died. Well, these and more stories when 284 News return.
Start the year off with more speed, more downloading, more savings, and more fire. CCT Fiber Internet gives you the speed you need to keep the whole family connected.
Packages starting at $119 with speeds from 300 megabytes per second.
Super fast, unlimited downloads, even more reliable connectivity, plus free live streaming TV for the family to enjoy. Sign up for the absolute best fiber internet service in the BVI, CCT Fire, and pay no installation fee. Plus, get CCT Live TV for free. You deserve more. Get more with CCT. Life Unlimited.
Today, I am doing coral treatments with Beyond the Reef. Today, we are doing shark research. So today, we are doing whale research with Beyond the Reef. And wherever I go, I take CCT with me because my life is unlimited.
How may I assist you? Yes. You want top of power?
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Welcome back, viewers. Thank you so much for sticking with us. As the territory of the Virgin Islands continues to maneuver through its relationship with the United Kingdom in the wake of the ongoing Commission of Inquiry, residents continue to question what will a suspension of the Virgin Islands Constitution look like. Well, here at 284 Media, we took time to delve into the matter, speaking with our colleagues from across the region who have also experienced a commission of inquiry. In the Turks and Caicos Island, Damian Wilson, Deputy Director of Radio in Turks and Caicos and former TCI Policy Support Media and Civil Society Liaison Manager, spoke with our Ron Grant exclusively.
Well, the UK establishing direct rule in the TCI came about after a commission of inquiry similar to the one that took place in the BVI. Our commission of inquiry here in the Turks and Caicos Islands took place between 2008 to 2009 after accusations of corruption and dishonesty and by public officials. Now, many persons originally were opposed and probably still are opposed to the commission of inquiry that took place in Turks and Caicos Islands, as you know, we believed, like persons in the BVI believed, that there were other ways to have handled the situation. The British originally sent a team of parliamentarians to look into matters in the TCI, and they returned a report saying, you know, there was essentially nothing here to see. But after things in the TCI from an administrative standpoint, when we were hit by the hurricanes, became quite difficult, where public servants weren't being able to be paid on time. We weren't being able to, as a country, meet our debt commitments and a few other things. The British then decided to take a second look, and that resulted essentially in a commission of inquiry. And it did have some reverberations in the UK as well, where British officials were essentially reprimanded, to my understanding, in essence, for their role, or what persons believe were their role in matters in the TCI.
We also spoke against the suspension of the territory's constitution, but which he says should only happen in certain circumstances.
You know, the commission of inquiry, or rather the imposition of the suspension of the Constitution, in my opinion, is essentially taking a hammer to kill a mosquito. And I don't mean that accusations of dishonesty or malfeasance or anything like that is something to be taken lightly. But I don't believe that you should suspend people's democratic right in any essence over malfeasance or over what we believe is abuse of power. You know, there are avenues in which to handle those types of situations. I think the only way you suspend the country's constitution, in my opinion, is essentially through acts of war or genocide or something along those lines, you know, where it is extreme, where life and limb are at risk.
Well, he also spoke on the process of receiving a new constitution after authority was granted back to the TCI.
The UK actually returned the island's constitution, or reinstated a new constitution, in 2012. Okay. That constitution, which was restated in 2012, was opposed by many local politicians and persons in the TCI, residents and citizens. And the British eventually changed the 2012 Constitution and gave us something similar to our 2006 Constitution, but it's not the exact 2006 Constitution. There are certain safeguards, essentially, that they say have been put in place.
Additionally, he addressed some disadvantages of the suspension of the Constitution, as well as the process to date and its impact on the TCI.
The suspension of people's democratic right to choose their own leadership. Again, I don't think that should happen under any circumstances unless there is, you know, life and limb at risk. You should not take away someone's right to freely choose who they wish to lead them, even if you don't like their choice. The other negative definitely is the impact of the the ongoing SIP trials, Special Investigation and Prosecution Team trials, which to this day is still taking place more than 10 years later. The trials were initiated, I think, in around 2015 or thereabout, and it's still going on. Now, admittedly, I must say that there has been a lot of procedural stuff that had to be gotten out of the way. The accused have appealed numerous different accusations all the way to the Privy Council. And so this is what has essentially dragged the trial out. Now, the unfortunate thing is that it has a societal impact, as in this cloud is still hanging over the country because of the ongoing trials, which the judge, which was done by Judge Alone and the judge, Justice Harrison, in the original trials passed away last year. And so we had to have a review to find out whether or not we would see retrials. And so now that has been agreed to and is proceeding in this situation. The DPP, Eugene Atuanye QC, decided that the trials would go ahead, and a new judge has been instated. And so the retrial is going on. But the cost to the country, the economic cost, has been tremendous, as the country has spent over $100 million now so far on these trials. And so one has to ask themselves, whether persons are guilty or not, is this the right type of justice? Is this the right form of justice? And what are you willing to pay for this justice? So those are some of the negatives.
Viewers, for the full interview, visit all 284 media platforms. Viewers, moving on, renowned Jamaican reggae singer and producer Pluto SHERVINGTON has died, passing away Friday morning in a Florida hospital where he was admitted the previous day. Born Leighton Keith SHERVINGTON, he began his career, musical career that is, in the early 1970s as part of the Showtime band Tomorrow's Children. His 1976 single, That, about a Rastafarian trying to secure or secretly buy pork, was an international hit that reached number 6 on the UK singles chart. When his breakout Ram Goat Liver led Lee Scratch Perry to produce a popular version featuring Jimmy Riley. He was considered an influential figure in spreading reggae music beyond Jamaica to an international audience in the 1970s. Fellow musicians and fans have paid tribute to SHERVINGTON, praising his vocal talents and songwriting skills. Viewers, before we sign off, I want to invite you all to the Just Lime and Dine initiative, which is a new one of the BVI Tourist Board on the beautiful island of Jos Van Dyke. Where the next lime will be on Saturday, January 27th, while in the month of February, the initiative will be hosted on Saturdays and Wednesdays, with transportation available on the New Horizon Ferry, which will be departing the West End Ferry Terminal at 6 p.m. and returning at 10:45 p.m. Our patrons will have a total of 15 locations to choose from, all of which are evenly spread across the island. Persons who make reservations will be charged only $20 to access any of the participating restaurants or bars, while those without will be charged $30 to access the entertainment and food packages. For more information, persons can call 442-1700 or send an email to justlimeanddine, that is JOSTLIMEANDDINE @bvitourism.com. Viewers, that's all we have for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for the daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye-bye.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?